Hello lovely people, welcome back to our personal finance and habit building channel in We Persist. In today's video, I will be discussing about a common barrier which our generation or our next generation is facing hugely while trying to upgrade their lifestyle, their personal finance, and most importantly, their mental and physical health. Many of you, including myself, have multiple areas of life where we would like to improve. As an example, I would like to reach many of people by my video, to lift higher weights while doing squats, and to start practicing to wake up even more early at 5 o'clock in the morning consistently. These are some of the goals which are very desirable for me, and I'm 100% sure that you have your own list too. But the problem is, even though we are committed to work really hard on our new habits, there is always a natural tendency that we always revert back to our old habit at some point. Making a permanent lifestyle change is really difficult. But fortunately, recently I came with some research studies that will definitely help you in these difficult lifestyle changes and making it much easier. As later in the video, the approach to master many areas of your life is somehow counterintuitive, which means it doesn't happen the way you think it's supposed to. Now, let's discuss about the point one. What really happens when you have too many good intentions? If you want to master many habits in your life for your own benefits, the first question which will arise in your mind is how to be so consistent. But the question is how to do that? Well, here one of the most exceptional findings from the psychological researches which actually shows you how you can follow through your goals. Researchers have shown that you are most likely to stay committed 2 times and sometimes even 3 times with your new habits when you have a proper planning when, where and how you are going to perform this new set of behaviors. For an example, in one study, the scientists asked a specific group of people to fill out these sentences. During next week, I will be involved in at least 20 minutes of intense workout at a particular date, at a particular time, and at a particular place. Researchers have actually found that the people who filled up the sentences has actually outperformed 2x or 3 times more than the control group of people who didn't make plan for their future behaviors. Psychologists call these specific plans intentional implementation because they state when, where and how you are intending to implement a particular set of behavior. These findings became well proven and they have been repeatedly performed over 100 of people who belong from different areas of life. For example, implementation intentions has been seen increasing the odds for people to wake up early, to start meditation, to spend more time in the nature, even quit smoking. However, one thing you need to always remember that in the follow-up studies, it's also been proven that the implementation intentions work best when you focus it only in a single behavior in your life. In fact, researchers have found that people who are trying to implement multiple behaviors at the same time were scattered, less committed, and didn't succeed. But people on the other hand who just focused only a single behavior, or better say a single habit, they succeeded. So this is very important, and let me repeat this for you, that if you have a proper plan that when, where and how you are going to perform a set of behavior, most likely you will stick to it. But there is only one condition, that you have to focus only in one thing. Now point number 2 is what happens when you focus in one thing. Here is another science-based reason that why you should focus on one thing at a particular time. When you remember a particular habit, it requires a lot of conscious effort to remember to do it. After a particular time, of course, the pattern of behavior becomes easier. Eventually, your new habit becomes a normal routine and the process is more or less mindless and automatic. Now, researchers have found a very fancy name for this process. They call it automaticity. Automaticity is the ability to perform a particular behavior without thinking about each step, which allows the pattern to become automatic or habitual. But here, one thing you need to understand, my friend, that automaticity is the outcome of a lot of repetition and a lot of practice. The more reps you put in, the more a behavior becomes automatic. In this way, we transfer this habit from our conscious mind to our subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind is our body. You can say by repetition, we implement this new habit into our DNA, and most importantly, it becomes a part of our identity. For example, in this chart, you can see How long usually it takes for an average person to implement a new habit to take a 10 minutes of walk after breakfast. As you can see in the chart that in the beginning the ratio of automaticity is really low, but after 30 days it becomes a part of your routine, and after 60 days it becomes a part of your identity. You can see in the graph that this area after 60 days is really stable. The time it takes to develop a new habit depends on many factors. It depends how tough the habit itself is, the environment you live in, your genetics, and many more. These are the tipping points. Researchers have said to develop a new habit for an average person, it usually takes 66 days. And within that time period, the habit also becomes automatic. But please don't be so rigid and serious about that number. The range of these studies were very wide, but one thing you can consider that for an average person to develop a new habit and to stick to it and to make it automated, it usually takes a couple of months. Now point number 3, you can change your life without changing your entire life. But the question is how? Alright, let's review what I have suggested you before and let's figure out some practical takeaways. Point number A, you are most likely to follow up a particular habit if you have a proper planning when, where and how you are going to perform it. This process is also explained as implementation intentions. Point number 2, you should focus only on one thing at a time. Researchers have found that intentional implementation doesn't work when you are trying to develop multiple habits at the same time. In this process, your energy, effort and focus are being divided into smaller chunks. So in the long haul, they don't sustain, or better say, they fall face off in front of your subconscious mind. Point C, researchers have also shown that a particular habit becomes automatic when it gets a lot of repetition and a lot of effort. On average, it is being seen to develop a new habit for an average person, it usually takes a couple of months to make it automatic. This brings us to the punchline of this video. As I discussed in the starting of the video, that the conclusion of the research for forming a new habit is counterintuitive. That means you can change your life by not changing your entire life. Instead, it is best to focus on one particular habit, work on it until you master it, and make it so automatic that it becomes a part of your routine. At the same time, it should become a part of your identity. Then repeat the same process for the next new habit. Please don't forget to subscribe to your tribe, because your motivation and inspiration is all I need to keep on going and bring you more useful and practical videos. If you find the video useful and informative, please don't forget to like it, share among your friends and family. Until then, see ya!